This begins our presentation on Assignment 6 Solution. This is the solution that I came up with to handle the problem of converting Assignment 4 to using the database entirely and using only MySQL statements, not file statements to deal with data. So here's the home page. Let's go ahead and look at some code. This is Assignment 6 here. So the beginning page. Notice right away at the very top I have the .. to use relative referencing to move up a level and then back down to the CSS directory to find what we're now dealing with King 6 CSS. If you look at the top here, you can see that this program is in a folder called Assignment 6 Files and is running a level below. So that's why I had to do that. As well, down here with the images file, I had to back up a directory and then come back down to the folder to get to the right file, the JPEG file. Other than that, not much changes there. This static HTML that I had here, I left that alone because it didn't come from a file, so I didn't feel like I needed to change it. Now here, I've got the include of the Assignment 6 Common Functions PHP and then a display realtors function. Let's move down. And I have the same kind of form that I had before. There's really no change here. End page, everything is pretty much the same. I have the end page here with the assignment files and the guest calculation. But if we look down here, I'm getting the realtors here from a table. I select the first name, image file, and realtor from the first name. And in truth, I didn't even really need this document root here. We could comment that out. I don't really use it in this program. It was just a stray line that was left over from before. So let's go down, and I'm running the select results function that's in the common functions area that we saw before. And I'll go back there again just to take another look at that in a moment. So this passes our select statement to that, returns SQL results in this case, and gives us that array back. We look at the first element in the array, and I just pull it off to a separate variable because it contains either an error message or the number of rows. And this is the same as an example that we had earlier in class. Error rows, if it's an error, we print out the error message. And I'd even recommend here printing the entire error rows statement like we did earlier in an exercise. So I'll just put that in. And that way we'd see the specific error that came back. It's more than just the first 5 characters. So the same kind of code. Here I'm getting the first name and the image file and building up the realtor's image file. So you've seen this much before in an exercise we did earlier in class. Let's go back to the top. Take a quick look at the common functions. They are the same except I have the do validation function here to do the validations on the form. So I included that in my common functions this time as well. So coming down here, the connect to database, the thing that you saw in all the earlier examples about databases, and then the select results, which you've seen before as well. One thing I'd like to go down to, though, is I added a new function. I added a function I called IDU results, and that stands for insert, delete, update, just something I made up. SQL handles those statements is a little bit different than select statements. It's not going to return with a whole result grid. So I have a different function that I'm going to use later when we go through the guest book and we add a row. So here you see the connect to the database. And now we still do the MySQL query and return a result. But in that result, we're either going to have an error or we're going to have just the number of rows that were affected. And I return that. So it's a simpler function than the select statement function. Let's go look at the home list. This is what happens when we list the homes. Now, I still am checking my cities and my fields. I'm going to check Find City, the one that I'm looking for, to see whether I'm looking for all of them or a specific city or a portion thereof. Again, I include the common functions, and then I'm going to run a function here called retrieve homes with Find City. So in the retrieve homes, I do what I've done in the past. I build up a statement in the statement variable, the dollar statement variable. And if it's not all, then I need a where clause. And see how I build the tick here and the tick here around Find City. The only thing I did different is I have a % and the word like here instead of equal because I want to do pattern matching. I'm only making the user put in the beginning part of the city. They may not know how to spell it perfectly, so if they put in the first few characters, it'll work as a beginning search. So then I order by the city and the price of the home. I run the select results, which is the one in the include file, and we come down here, and again, if we find an error, we print the error and the error or rows, which contains a more detailed error statement. Same kind of thing here for selecting. You've seen this, but now we're getting kind of complicated. It's the same idea, but look at all the columns we got to get. City, price, baths, bedrooms, footage. We got that information from files before. We scanned the file and looked for text. We're not doing that anymore. We're going right after column names. And remember this little technique where you need the two indexes. One, the $I to go where you are within the SQL results array. And then this gets the actual column value from the row arrays that's stored in each individual element. Anyway, it goes down, and it basically just builds the form. This code here was substantially what we had before. The thing that changed is this. Instead of getting information out of a file, we retrieved it from the database. This ends part 1 of my solution to assignment 6. We'll have to pick up in the next file on a part 2 to cover the rest of it.